Andrew. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Commissioner, for your information. Well, the landscape is not very encouraging. It's a mess in the whole region now, and we are seeing after the war in Nagorno-Karabakh that the current situation in Georgia, Belarus, we have to deal with very bad political situation. On Nagorno-Karabakh, we were completely absent of the diplomatic solution to the war. Let's see what happens with the arrival of a new administration in Washington, but at least let's reinforce from the European Union the OSCE Minsk group, because it's the only international body authorized to deal with the issue, and try to not to maintain just the fragile ceasefire agreement, but to accord a lasting peace in the region. Well, in Belarus has been depicted by yourself and by some colleagues. Mr. Borrell is visiting Russia. We would like to have an extensive debriefing on the outcome of Borrell on this particular matter, because we all know the key player is putting in this situation, despite the current closeness of the regime after the protests on Navalny. But I think we have to explore if Mr. Borrell has some good news on the attitude of Russia towards the crisis in Belarus. On Georgia, I could understand perfectly what is the current feelings of the opposition, but in our view, to maintain the boycott to the parliament is not the solution. I do appreciate the effort of our ambassador trying to contain what apparently started to be a revolutionary narrative among the opposition. I try to dismantle the government not by electoral ways, and this is not in any way could be a solution endorsed by the European Union. I think that the opposition MPs have to enter in the parliament and try to struggle and try to review what happened. As you know, the ISFED is a very prestigious organization that I had the opportunity in my past as leader of an observation mission. It's a very serious organization, but they did a mistake, and they created a political fact talking about these 8% differences in the results of the votes, and that created a political situation. Finally, there was some technical problems and bad approach from the technical point of view that created a political fact. And I think, given that ISFED corrected in some way, okay, I'm finishing, corrected in some way the outcome of the result, I think the opposition has to go to the parliament to end the boycott, to end the narrative about revolutionary changes, and try to enter in the institution and struggle from the institution. Thank you.
First, to Mr. Sanchez Amor, I fully support your approach that we need to convince the opposition to abandon this policy of boycott and not try to destabilize the democracy in the country by calling into question the whole of the elections. On the other hand, we also need the government and the government parties to cooperate with the opposition so that we find a democratic solution to this. Georgia has no time to waste. Georgia is very hardly hit by the second wave of COVID, and we need to help Georgia to recover fast from the COVID. But it is not only our responsibility, but it is the responsibility of the elites of Georgia. So we count on everybody in Georgia to help the country to recover quickly from the COVID, meaning to have a government and to have a parliamentary force that backs this government and which ensures proper decisions can be made and the country can move on to survive this pandemic.